Hey, how you guys doing? My name is Stuart Esparza and I am here with Omar Esparza. We are realtors here in Connecticut. We serve all of Fairfield County and a lot of New Haven County. And today we're going to be speaking about Bridgeport in specific, and we're going to be talking about the difference between multifamily and single family in Bridgeport, Connecticut.
And a lot of people, they ask themselves, should I buy a single family or am I better off buying a multifamily? And it really depends on your goals. And that's what we're going to be talking about. If you should buy a single family or invest in a multifamily.
I'm always going to tell you to buy a multifamily, but that might not be the best solution for you. So we're going to discuss the differences and let's get right into it.
So what's the difference in price of a single family and a multifamily in Bridgeport?
Well, a single family in Bridgeport, you are usually going to be paying $200,000 to $300,000. So it is very affordable, especially in Connecticut. Now, a multifamily, if you want to buy a multifamily in a good area, you can expect to pay anywhere from $300,000 to $400,000, depending on the square feet and how many units the multifamily is.
So it's really a $100,000 difference on average.
On average, I would say about $100,000. It all depends on the multifamily and the condition of the property, but expect to pay anywhere from $300,000 to $400,000 for a multifamily in a good area in Bridgeport.
And what's the difference between living in a single family and a multifamily? Let's say that you were thinking about maybe moving to Bridgeport. What's the main difference that you're gonna see from moving into a single family or a multi?
I mean, that is a great question. And the biggest difference of living in a single family is that you have more privacy. There's not another person living in your house. So the backyard is for you, the parking is for you. Basically, you get privacy. Now, if you buy a multifamily, then you have tenants. And if you have tenants, those people are gonna wanna use a backyard. Maybe they wanna use a garage. Maybe they wanna use the parking. It all depends, but you're not gonna have as much privacy in a multifamily.
So you just mentioned kind of a con of living in a multifamily.
Yep.
What is a pro of living in a multifamily?
I mean, there's a lot of pros to living in a multifamily, and one of the biggest pros is that you're gonna have tenants helping you pay the mortgage. So for example, you buy a 3-family in Bridgeport, Connecticut in a good area. It's gonna be costing you around $400,000. Let's say you buy that with an FHA loan. So your monthly payment is gonna be anywhere from $2,500 to $2,800 a month. But if you have 3 units, you can live in one of the units and then you can rent the other 2 units. And the other 2 units are gonna be paying for your mortgage. So you can basically live for free.
How much are these units renting out? Let's say a usual 2-bedroom, 1-bathroom.
A 2-bedroom, you're gonna be renting for around $1,400 to $1,500 a month in a good area in Bridgeport, Connecticut.
So if I'm not wrong, you said 3 units, you're gonna live in one, so there's 2 units available.
Yep.
So on average, you're gonna be pulling in about $3,000 from the 2 units.
Yep.
And you said your mortgage is from $2,500 to $2,800.
Yep.
So you're cash flowing profit around $200, and you're living in one of the units.
Yes, but then you have maintenance, and let's say you save $200 a month for maintenance, and that's why you'll break even. But if you get a 3-family in Bridgeport and you're gonna live in one of the units, then you're definitely not gonna be paying mortgage.
From your experience, what type of personality goes well with a single family?
Well, a single family is more for more mature and bigger families. Because if you're gonna buy a multifamily and you have 4 kids, it doesn't always work out. But if you are a young family, let's say under 40, and you have 2 kids, then a multifamily might work for you. It's after 2 kids, let's say you have 3 kids, a multifamily is just not gonna work for you because 1 unit is not gonna give you enough space, and a single family definitely will.
Not only that, when you have 3 kids and a wife, you really want more privacy.
Exactly.
So you don't want to be dealing with tenants or playing music loud at night. You don't want to deal with stuff like
Exactly. And I'm gonna tell you guys something. If you're young and you don't have a lot of kids, buy a multifamily. Buy a 3-family. I'm not saying in Bridgeport or even in Connecticut. Just buy a multifamily, and then when you get to that age that you have a bigger family, then you just rent the unit that you're using and you go and move into a single family. And that way you already have an investment property that is cash flowing every month, and then you can use that money to pay for your mortgage for the single family. So that's the best case scenario.
Not only that, let's say they bought the multi, they lived there, and let's say they were not cash flowing, but they got equity in the property. Now they want to sell it 20 years later because now they're ready for a single family. They can use that money, that equity they build in up in the multifamily to buy a single family.
That could be the down payment, exactly. So that's another benefit right there. So do you think owning multifamily is a great way to achieve financial freedom?
I think it's a great way to achieve financial freedom, but it really depends on who you are.
Okay.
Because owning a multifamily is like running a business. If you're not ready to run a business, then I wouldn't suggest owning a multifamily, because you're gonna have customers, and these customers are the people that are renting the units in your multifamily. So the multifamily is your business, and your customers are the people renting. So if you're not comfortable with that idea, then I wouldn't suggest owning a multifamily. Now, if you are, this is a great way to gain some wealth, because you're not paying rent if you're living there.
Yep.
And you own a multifamily. So that means you're not paying $1,500 in rent, so you're saving that money. You're also building equity in a multifamily that is going to be worth around $400K in 30 years. It's a great way to build a wealth, but you got to be careful and know yourself. If you're not ready to take on responsibility, then I don't think you're ready to own a multifamily.
Or even a single family. And another thing is, there's always going to be a higher demand for single families. And the reason is because people want to live, well, most people want to live in a single family. Most people don't want to buy a multifamily because people don't want to deal with tenants, and people don't want to deal with any extra headaches. Because most people, they already have enough stress and enough problems in their life. So they're not going to go out there and buy a multifamily. They're going to go and buy a single family where you don't have to deal with tenants.
So you have to deal with is the mortgage in your house, but
Yeah.
you don't got to deal with anybody else.
Exactly.
Is that why also part of the reason that most multifamilies are owned by other people that own a lot of multifamilies?
Yeah. So, I mean, if you look at stats, most multifamilies are owned by a few people. I mean, that's just how it goes. I mean, also most the biggest companies in the world, they create the most revenue.
Exactly.
It's just the same thing with houses. So a few people, the people that decide to make it a business, they're gonna buy a bunch because it's a business and it's a good business. And then the people that don't want to run it as a business, you're not gonna buy a lot of multifamily. You'll probably buy one and then sell it. This is a business, and you gotta look at it as a business.
Not only that, landlords have a bad reputation, but if you're a good landlord, you're really providing a lot of value to people. Because in cities like Bridgeport, there's an extremely high demand for rent, and there's not that many apartments.
Not in good condition.
Especially not in good condition. So if you're a good landlord, you buy the place, you fix it up, and you provide a family with a great place to live. That's also part of the responsibility with owning a multifamily. You're not just responsible for your well-being, and yeah, you buy a multifamily to make money, but a lot of these multifamily owners, they really take pride in their homes, and they keep them up to date with everything because they understand the value that they provide to these families that rent their units. If you're thinking about owning a multifamily, be sure to contact my brother Steve.
I'll help you guys for sure.
He does a lot of multifamily deals here in Bridgeport.
A lot.
He knows the numbers behind it, so you won't get surprised with any last minute numbers, which a lot of realtors, they don't know the true.
They don't know how to do numbers.
They don't know how to do numbers, and they don't understand the true cost of owning one of these properties.
I mean, most realtors, they just open the door.
That's true.
They don't know about construction. They don't know about how to deal with tenants. They don't know anything. And if you want to work with somebody that actually understands construction and is going to tell you if something's a big issue or not, then work with somebody that knows construction. I'm not saying work with me, but there is some other realtors, not a lot, that actually understand multifamily and understand how to do numbers and also understand construction.
Because in Bridgeport, I was showing multifamilies the other day, and what I noticed is a lot of them are half built, where probably a realtor sold them the idea of buying this multifamily, fixing it up, and renting it, and then midway through fixing it up, they realize that the numbers don't add up.
Yeah.
And that I see that a lot. So be very careful with who you trust to give you numbers. And if you're an investor, well, that's even better because you know how to do numbers on your own, so you know if something's gonna make sense.
That's the best thing. Always do numbers on your own. I give my clients numbers, and then I tell them how I got to that number, and then I tell them do your own numbers, and then we always get to the same numbers because I'm not gonna sell them a dream. This is not an easy business. You gotta run this like a business, and the house is your business, and you gotta take care of it, and you gotta have rules and expectations with the tenants. Make sure they understand what you expect from them, and they're also gonna tell you what they expect from you, and that's the best type of relationship to have. I think we cover what the pros and cons and the difference between a single family and a multifamily are. If you're looking for more content like this or you enjoy it, give it a like, and we'll see you guys on the next one.